Boola! And welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and of course, I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Mary.
And today, we are talking about, in our opinion, the ultimate guide to visiting the Survivor sites in Fiji. Now, I want to preface this with, we were not able to go to every single thing in Fiji that Survivor films at, because apparently, different people own different locations. But we'll get into that as we get through this. We're going to give you all the information because we went on our own dime. We spent our own money. CBS didn't fly us there. It wasn't like Survivor took us there. So we were able to freely give our opinion without worry about, what we're saying. But I mean, it was a great experience. So like, this is not some negative podcast. I spent money going there. There's a little investment.
We love it that much.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I will show you photos and videos of the locations as we're talking about them. So unlike most podcasts, this one's probably the most visual by far because you'll get to see everything I'm talking about. I will have reference photos from the show and I'll put it with like my own video, my own photos. Cause like a lot of the Survivor stuff's like drone footage and then like we're 5 feet off the ground. You know what I mean? So definitely different angles of stuff. You're going to see it more from like a player's angle, I would say, versus, how they showed on the show.
The true experience.
The true experience, yeah. All right, so first off, Mary, what does Boola mean? Because we said it at the beginning of the podcast.
So Boola is a traditional Fijian greeting. The literal translation is life, but it's like a shortened version of good life or hope you're having a good life.
Right, but everyone in Fiji says it like it's hello.
Yeah, it's a greeting.
Yeah. Like I've heard Boola, I think more times than I heard any other word while we were in Fiji. The second most was Vinaka, which I believe means thank you.
Yes. So if you make eye contact with anyone, they're going to say Boola.
Oh, dude, yeah. If you don't want to hear Boola, you got to avoid eye contact. But let me tell you, even then, that's not a guarantee.
No, it's not. Yeah. I loved it. They were so friendly.
So we went to Mana Island on Fiji. I'm going to show you all like the Google satellite view, whatever it's called, Google Maps view of it. And I'll show you photos of what we got as well. But we shot everything in 6K. We flew ourselves out there from where we had to fly out of Dallas because of where we live. So it was like a 13-hour flight. Prices vary. I saw some people asking me, Mary, so at the end of this podcast, we'll answer people's questions. Prices, and it's like, just check like Expedia.com and put in the trip from wherever you're going and it'll tell you.
Yeah. Because
prices vary. Like I think we got a discount because we went there for 5 days and it was like, if you go for 5 days or more, it's like a 20% discount. So we were at the resort 5 days, though in retrospect, we probably should have gone for 7.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Somehow, despite 5 days, because you also want to enjoy the resort. Like it's a nice resort, the Mana Island Resort and Spa. I didn't get almost any photos of the resort and spa because I spent so much time just getting like Fiji. Fiji. So yes, I did film everything in 6K on my GH5 for those nerds who care about that. And that will be all in this video. It took us 13 hours to fly from Dallas to Fiji, which was an okay flight. We get to Mana Island, Fiji. You have to so that once you get there, this is for those who are going to go and those want to live vicariously through us, Mary, on this experience. You're going to arrive at the airport. It's not very big. Nadi, Fiji is where you go to. Apparently Suva's the capital. Nadi, Fiji, you arrive at, and it took us not much time to get through customs and all that. Yeah. Then you got to take a 25, maybe 30-minute cab ride to the port. I'm going to butcher this name.
Port Denaroo.
There you go. That's better than how I was going to say it. And at Port Denaroo, it's like kind of like a tourist shopping center. Emphasis on tourists, like they know who's there.
Yeah.
And then you have to take a ferry with South Sea Cruises from the port to Mana Island, which took I think about an hour 15 minutes on the ferry. It was even though it was that long, it's so cool just like see all the islands and be on the ocean.
Yeah, it's a beautiful boat ride.
Despite being an hour 15 minutes, it didn't feel like an hour 15 minutes, I would say.
Yeah.
Everything there, so like $1 Fijian dollar is worth 44 American cents. So when I tell you prices, some of these are going to be in Fijian dollars. I'll clarify that, but basically just know that like you're $100 there is $44 to us Americans. Though there was a lot of Australians there, Mary. There certainly were.
There were
a lot of Australians. Like not many people were there from America. Like I think that maybe a handful of people I found. I'm sure there were more.
Yeah, we only met one or two families, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get to the Survivor stuff. That's why everyone's here. So we arrive in Fiji. We check into our room. And we immediately, upon going near the pool, near where you eat at the buffet, we find the Survivor 49 sign. I was not expecting this, man.
Yeah, I wasn't either. That was awesome.
Yeah. That's the picture I'm using at the beginning of all our 49 podcasts now, is us with that sign.
Yes. And I was going to say, on the ferry ride over, you know how they do announcements of like this island coming up or whatever. Mm-hmm. They did mention on the ferry without any like prompting, and we're about to go to Mana Island where Survivor is filmed. So I mean, like, people are aware. It's our taxi cab driver.
It's right by Castaway Island where they filmed the movie Castaway, and somehow that one movie got to have the island named after it. But Mana Island isn't named Survivor Island, Mary. Make it make sense.
Well, I feel like there's a lot more people that live on Mana Island than lived on Castaway. I think
Mana Island is already a thing.
No one lives at Castaway. It's just a tourist attraction.
It is just a resort, at Castaway Island. We did not go to Castaway Island again. We needed a few more days.
Yeah.
But we did go to Castaway Island on the ferry. Like, we were like,
we passed right by it.
Yeah, we saw it, but we didn't go on the actual island. So, anyways, yes, this is the 49 sign. It's there. It was a surprise. I talked to Andrew Yallo, who did the video last summer where he went there, and he definitely was more adventurous than us in terms of trusting people, I'll say. we'll talk about as we go through here. But yes, so we're at Mana Island. It is probably in the 80s Fahrenheit. Obviously, we're talking Fahrenheit. It's in the 80s Fahrenheit, but man, did it feel hotter than it does when it's 80s where I live.
It's very humid. It's just the tropics. We're right on the ocean. Yeah.
But hot, like when you feel shade, you're like, so nice. When you feel the sun, you're like, I'm burning. At least that's how I felt. You know? Okay, so the 49 logo, it's there. You take a picture with it. We got there a day after production did. I mean, production left the day before we got there.
The last of production.
Right, the last, because I think some of them are still cleaning up and stuff as we left. So they left. We are there the next day. We do hear from some locals. Sorry, not locals. Locals. Other Americans, in my mind, that's local. Other Americans that, because they were there the day before, and they said the production was wearing black hats with gold lettering that said outwit, outplay, outlast 50. I don't know if those are going to be production specific, but they sounded super cool. They sound excited about them. Just hearing about it, I'm like, I want to buy one of those.
Yeah, they did sound really cool.
So hopefully during 50, they'll sell them. Anyway, so that's 49 logo. Let's jump over to the other big thing there that at first I didn't think was Survivor related. I thought it was just part of the resort. Mary, tell everyone about it.
It was the mermaid dragon. Yeah. I didn't even think about dragon. Yeah. So there's this like statue of a mermaid. It was just a few feet behind the Survivor 49 sign, right next to the pools. And we're like, oh, that looks kind of cool, Survivor related-ish, but we're just like, but it's clearly a fixture here at the pool. This is
it did not at first ring a bell as Survivor.
Right.
But then you look at the colors on it, and the colors are all 50 colors, like 50 tribe colors, because as we'll learn, orange, teal, and we thought it was going to be purple before we went. It's actually more pink fuchsia.
Yeah,
the third tribe.
It's a fuchsia color.
I will say we did find out the tribe names. That's the only thing I'm not going to reveal in this podcast because it's not public knowledge yet. Like, it's not, Survivor production was clearly trying to cover it up, and the way they tried covering up the tribe names did not work. Did not work. So one day, I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, it's your regular 4 letters, 3 letters, whatever, like for tribe names. It's not a big deal. I just want to throw out there, like, the only thing, like, I will not reveal on this podcast. As if anybody cares. I watch the show and I never care about the tribe names.
I never remember the tribe names.
Right. Mary's like, I don't remember seeing that. So, yeah.
No, I do.
They clearly, but they prominently put the mermaid out. We went and touched it, stood by, got some pictures, got some video. There's the shark on the front of the mermaid, Mary. And as soon as I posted the photo on our YouTube channel and then on Instagram, somebody commented that they think the shark is the merge emblem. Mary, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, whoa, that's crazy. How much do you care?
Wait, which one's crazy?
About the shark. 10 is like,
1.
whoa.
Number
yeah,
1.
I didn't care either.
I think it'd be cooler if it was like all mermaid themed, but it's whatever.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with the mermaid. While the colors of the mermaid are in the 50 tribe colors, if you go to the 49 preview, because this is for Survivor 49, you go to the 49 preview, which you can watch on YouTube, like they showed at the end of 48, the mermaid is in that video and it has no color.
Yeah. It looks like it's sunken, shipwrecked, faded, like part of a wreckage. So clearly it was used in 49.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this is such a cool thing. We should paint it with our leftover 50 paint.
Right.
And give it to the island.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And clearly, like, the more we looked at it, the more we're like, this has to be Survivor, right? So we did ask some of the workers there and they're like, oh yeah, Survivor gave that to us.
The workers are so casual. Like, you can ask them. Now, do they understand what you're asking sometimes? Because their main language is not English.
We also felt like sometimes they were just saying yes because we were asking them. If they knew the answer, if they knew the answer or not, they were going to say, "Oh yeah, of course," or whatever. You know, that's just their want to make you happy.
If you go, ask more open-ended questions, because when you ask like yes or no's, they're going to lean towards yes. But I wanted them to lean towards yes when I was asking if I can go look at everything Survivor related.
They will definitely say yes.
Yeah, like, I don't think I heard a single no about. They were like, they would tell us stuff I wasn't even asking about, which is my favorite part. So. We did learn, this is one of the things I did not ask about because, again, I don't normally care. But because we were there, it was cool to find out. So as we kind of gathered watching the 49 preview and then while being there, somebody literally told us, like, the theme of Survivor 49 is shipwrecked, which is cool. Okay. Right. That explains the 49 preview you can watch on YouTube. But the other one is 50. The Survivor 50 theme is Ancient City.
Right.
I don't know what that means. We're in Fiji. It's called In the Hands of the Fans. How much is I feel like these are the themes the art department went with.
Yes.
Like if you watch 44, like there's like there's like knights in armor and but ultimately did it affect the season?
No.
Yeah. These are just like fun things to find out.
This is like what tribal is going to look like basically. And that's it.
Another thing they just like told us about, by the way, at this moment, obviously I didn't take footage of these people telling us this stuff. So I'm just showing you beautiful shots of Fiji from Mana Island. Locals, apparently, now I overheard this. I don't know if this is like every job they do or whatever, but Jeff last season during 48, I believe, said that they hire about 400 locals and they have 400 US workers, so 800 total. Of course, this is what Jeff said. I don't know if that's the exact number. He could just be guesstimating. They apparently pay the locals 1,000 Fijian dollars to work on the show, which is about 440 American dollars a week. But again, I don't know if that's like varies by department. It's just this one guy who's taking us to the, because there's like a truck that'll take you to the Sunset Beach to go look at the sunset, which is cool. And he was just like spouting off information nobody else was asking about. Yeah. Like nobody else was there for Survivor. He was just spouting off Survivor information because he was like excited about it.
And he was at the very end of the truck. And so
we were at the other end.
We were at the other end. So we heard him say this and we're pretty sure that's what he was talking about.
Right. Again, do not this is not
and that could just be what he is making.
Yes, that could just be what he made. He could have said he made $1,000 Fijian dollars a week. That does not mean everybody, but I thought that was interesting to know. Yeah. Because there's no way in anywhere you're flying an American out to Fiji and paying them $440 a week to work on Survivor.
Oh, I would, but you would.
Right.
I wouldn't, but you know what I mean? I'm sure there's some people who would do it.
I mean, that's only like $1,700 a month. Which is not that much.
But it's not. I understand it's not like even minimum wage probably.
Yeah. But it's I think it's
or close to minimum wage.
It's $11 if you only work 40 hours a week. I think it's $440 $11 an hour. Is that minimum wage?
But people aren't working just 40 hours a week.
Depends on what state you're from.
I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. They only work 40 hours. So another fun thing, and this one was I saw two people wearing this, but I only got a picture of one guy because the other one was while we were walking on a beach. There are Survivor 50 jerseys, like basketball jerseys, how I describe it. And it says Survivor on the front, like 50 on the back. And then it has the original Fiji logo from season 14, as you can see in this photo in the podcast. Mary, what?
I don't know.
They're not even in the same locations that season.
I don't know.
I don't know either. The first time we saw it, I was like, there's a resort is next to a village. It was a person who didn't work at the resort. It was a villager. That's a local villager wearing it. So we kind of saw it from like 20, 30, 40 feet away. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It was like a yellow jersey, had 50 on it. I couldn't really make out the 50 because I was so locked in on the original Fiji logo. I was like, shoot, this guy's had a jersey for 19 years. That's what I thought. Because
it looks brand new.
It did look brand new. And I'm like, wow, he's been keeping good shape of this jersey for 19 years since they filmed the original Fiji. But then we went back to the port. This is after we were done at the resort, and we're getting food from this. Oh, by the way, if you do go to the port by chance, go to the hot bread kitchen, I think it's called. It's the cheapest food.
It's so good though.
It's good.
It's just like bread and
but you're not getting ripped off. That's the important part, because there are other places there that will rip you off price wise. That one will not. Hot bread kitchen. So anyways, he's in line. And I was like, can I get a picture of your jersey? He's like, yeah. And then I asked him, did you work on Survivor? And he said, we're filming 51, 52 next year. And that was basically our entire conversation because he had to go. So like, I learned nothing. Yeah. But because I want to ask him about the jersey, like, what is this?
I feel this is just my opinion, but it seems like maybe it's just a bonus perk you get if you're a local working on the show. Like maybe it was all the construction workers got a jersey that's a 50 or something.
But they made them. These don't look left over because they have the 50.
Oh no, yeah, it was like their uniform. I don't know their uniform, but it's clearly something that they wore while on set.
And nobody on the 50 cast is from the original Fiji season, so this isn't like, it's just like a throwback, but it's also modern, and it's like I don't quite understand.
Yeah,
will they sell these? I don't know.
It seemed very island specific. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
It was so crazy because that season was not filmed on Mana Island. Mm-hmm. Since 33, they've been filming on Mana Island. But this one, like that season, there was like some other location where they couldn't even go in the water because all like the snakes and stuff. Dude, I don't know. It's just like, I'm down to hear your guys' comments. By the way, if you ask questions about stuff, I'll try to answer in the comments to the best of my ability. So, all right. So that is the quick fun things. Now let's get into the real. This is the real stuff. This is the real stuff. So I will try to show you on Google Maps where most of these things are. So if you go on Google Maps yourself and you're planning on going, you can like kind of plan a route. I would say plan on a minimum of 2 days to walk the island to look at everything, because the left side of the island is a whole different trek than the right side of the island. Left side of the island's like shaded. You're on a road, on like a dirt road, and it's like, it's nice. The right side of the island's like on the beach in the heat, the sun's killing you. It's a whole different experience. So I would say plan at minimum 2 days to like look at everything. But if you're gonna like stop, take photos, and just enjoy yourself, you're gonna want more than 2 days. That's why I said like I wish we had spent more time, because Mary and I were like dying by the end of some of these walks as I'm sitting there getting a bunch of footage and pictures.
Sure.
So.
Well, I was gonna say most people probably aren't gonna spend like 30 minutes at each challenge site, and maybe you will. I don't know.
When I got to tribal, I did. I was like, holy cow, this is tribal.
That's cool.
Right, that's gonna be cool when we get there. All right, so first up, challenge props and items. On the airfield, the airstrip, which you can see on the Google Maps image, the airstrip is right there, and there are some big ones. So let's look at these. These are the big ones. These are like the ones they put out in the water, though they're not complete. Like they don't have like the boards on top for people to get up on.
It's just platforms.
Right, these are like platforms. There's like balance beams right next to them. You see them in the footage I'm showing. These are like, you can't miss this. This is on the airfield. But then on that airfield, it's like, I don't know if this is a safe number. There's like 50 to maybe 100 shipping containers.
Yeah.
Like literally. And I was told by the locals, by the people who work at the resort, those are for Survivor.
Yeah.
So they hide stuff. There's stuff they're putting in there. They're storing it for next year, whatever. There's also a bunch of boats, which I assume are the boats they own. A bunch of boats that are like covered up and stuff.
Yeah, that's what our tour on the Sunset Beach, he said, those are the boats.
Yeah, when he was telling us so much stuff that I'm not sure if he was supposed to. That's what it felt like. He was just like, don't go between February through July. I should have said that earlier, because production gets there in February and they leave like mid-July. So if you're going to go between end of July and January.
You can't go between February.
You can if you go to like the nicer.
Oh, sure. You just can't stay on Mana Island, I guess.
You can stay on Mana Island. You can go to like the hostel. You can go to like, there's like other stuff there. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to see anything. Survivor Production will have locked everything down. You will be stuck at wherever you're staying.
That is
so
true.
Do not waste your money if you're going there for Survivor stuff between February and early July. You'll see nothing. You might see from afar them out in the water doing a water challenge. Like if you're lucky, like that's that. So if you're going to go between those times. All right. So challenge props times, we're on the airfield. So this is the big one. This is like really cool because the shipping containers they got, like if they want to hide what we're about to show you, they would hide it, but they leave it out in the open, almost like the art department's like showing off. It's the only department it feels like it's showing off. Randomly throughout the island, you will find things that say art department on them. And I mean throughout the island, not just the resort.
Right by the pools, there are these large wooden barrels that just have art department right on the top of them. Right. And it's like decoration, but if you go walk over and look at the top of the barrels, you see art department. It just says
art department on it.
Yeah.
49 logo, Mermaid, their art department's showing off. The art department's having a good there were stuff in the village as we walked past, people were using. And there's like random things that the Survivor's no longer using. They're like on the soccer field, they had like one of the Survivor item out there. I'm like, it's just everywhere. Yeah. It's just like my Survivor's art department, it's having a good time. Let's put it that way. Like they clearly have the least amount of restrictions because these are the challenge props and items. I'm going to show you videos. I'll show you photos, but like There is so much here.
Mm-hmm.
And they did tell us we can go look at it. There was nothing, there's no restricted signs. There was nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just like, go ahead.
It's just right there by the path. You could look and take pictures.
Take pictures, go look at it. But some of the fun stuff we found, Mary, let me know what if there's anything you remember. We found the Beware Advantage, like box. That was cool.
We think.
Well, what else is this box that you're looking at here on YouTube?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was the right size. And
the note was ripped.
It looked like that could be it.
Like a Beware Advantage box. I don't know. Again, so the colors we found, we all know the colors for 50. The colors 49 are red, blue, and yellow. What a shocker. That's what it was for 47 and 45 as well. So it was mostly stuff colored with 50, but there was some stuff colored with the red, blue, and yellow. But we saw water wells, which so clearly there's no such thing as a water well. It's a big
canister that
Container. They put clean water in. Yeah. There's so many challenge things here, as you can see. The massive mergatory balls have it's like the purple ball will have like another tribe's color like cracking through it, and like the orange, like we saw 2 of the 3 balls. I don't know where the 3rd ball is. The tribal council stumps are there where people sit on.
Yeah.
They're shorter than I thought. Of course, it makes sense when you watch a show and you're like seeing how they're like sitting on them. I don't know if Jeff's is one of those, like, because
no, his is taller.
You think his is taller?
You can tell when he sits. His is like higher up.
His is more comfortable.
Yeah.
They had the water well water scoopers.
Dippers.
They had the final 4 fire making whatchamacallit,
like a table stump.
Again, we don't know if that's going to be on 50. So those could have been, I think I found both of them. Those could have been from 49 with the purple and the orange, because nothing gives away what season they were used on. But they're there. It's cool. It's like right cool. there. I tried. There's so many other things without just directly looking at it myself while recording this audio. But you can see, I'm showing you video. I'm showing you photos. It's super cool. I did get fire ants or something biting me up as I was
they were just regular ants. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of them. I got a lot of red bumps.
Yeah, it could have been
all over my ankles. That's the only time I got like a ton of ants all over me, just biting me. So it was really cool. The art department's clearly showing off. They wanted to hide this stuff. They 100% would. No question if they wanted to. So we did meet other Survivor fans who were like also very respectful of like walking through, looking at everything, but like not taking or breaking anything. That was very important.
Yeah.
I like respect the show too much to be doing anything like that, but it was super cool seeing so many things. There's even more than what I'm showing. I think like the gecko was hidden underneath, or like stuffed underneath like the platform. What do you call it? The building?
The building.
Yeah.
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 The shed.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And like anyone who is there for Survivor will be like, hey, did you see this? It's like the first thing everyone wants to talk about. Did you see that? So it's like so cool. Because you have the challenge site tribal council. Like they've taken everything out.
Yeah.
This is the one place you're like, oh no, this is definitely Survivor. Yeah. Mary, is anything that stood out to you?
Honestly, it was just, not that it was overwhelming, but there was so much stuff to see. It almost took, because we went there the very first day. We just walked and tried to find it, what we could. And then the second day when we went back and actually took a picture, it was like, oh, there's that and that and that. And like, I was just here yesterday.
I went there 3 times because I kept seeing stuff I didn't see.
Yeah.
There are times.
I mean, all of it was awesome. I loved seeing the rings that you could toss. Like,
yes.
The rings were right there. And I'm just like, somebody I know has touched this on TV, you know? I don't know. It's just really, really cool. I think my favorite was the fire making table, though. That was awesome.
Art department honestly needs like its own, museum's not the right word, like an exhibit. You said this while we were there. They need because I was trying to figure out the word for it. And they need an exhibit like on the resort for you to go look at this stuff. And they could be like, this is this. And like, here's a photo of a challenge we used it in. Something like that. Because our department is showing off. Everyone else trying to cover up.
Well, and they do such a good job too. I mean, this isn't just like shoddy workmanship. It's all really cool stuff.
Yeah. It's really cool. It was like one of the coolest parts of the trip was seeing all this challenge stuff. So, again, our department, I wish they had like an exhibit on like there that you could like, I don't know. Again, they don't provide, so I don't know if I said this earlier, they don't provide tours for Survivor, but if you ask concierge for someone to drive you around, they will. Yeah. But they can only drive you around the left side of the island.
Where the path is.
Right, where the path is that you can already walk in the shade. So if you have trouble being mobile, I guess, the right side of the island's not going to be good for you. Like it's going to be rough.
Right.
But if you're if you don't have trouble with mobility, the right side will be fine. It just takes time and it gets hot and stuff. But we'll give you tips on that when we go over there. But so let's do the left side of the island. So we saw the challenge props and items. Super cool. Very exciting start for the airfield and then that. So we're going up the right side because there are roads on the side of the airfield in the shade. Did we know that the first time?
Not the first day. No,
we walked the airfield in the heat like an idiot. Now there's probably about 14 different places on Mana Island. I counted that you could go see that are either in use or were in use at one time by Survivor. We did not take pictures and video of every single one. There's only one. I feel like there's only one like, dang, we should have gone to that. Like, how did we miss that? We'll talk about that when we get there. But we saw everything else we wanted to see. So let's go to the very first thing that we saw that we cared about. The sanctuary, where good things happen. TM.
Good things happen.
If you didn't know the sanctuary was supposed to be there, you'd be like, here's a little picnic spot by the beach.
Yeah, basically.
But what gave it away, Mary?
I think the biggest thing that gave it away was the path leading up to the sanctuary, or the area where sanctuary is at, was lined with rocks. And then also, I don't know, you've seen the new era seasons, like that little arc of trees in this clearing. It was like obvious. I could just see.
Google Maps also tells you where some of the stuff is.
That too. But yeah, the main giveaway, if you're just walking down the beach and you see a path lined with rocks, it's like, oh, clearly this is something. So,
like it was very intentional. The rocks on the ground leading you up there. I also want to throw out there that this is what's crazy is there's a reason why some of these areas are as small as they are, because some of these places, like the sanctuary, is not as big as you think it would be. The reason being is because there's a road right behind it, the shaded road you're going to walk down if you go visit.
Right.
And then right behind that's the airfield. So like they're trying to sleep there overnight, and like trucks could be driving down the road, whatever. Or
it's true.
Golf carts. I don't know about trucks. I will say though, it's clear as day when I went back and looked at, I was getting like the reference photos for us for some of these places, that Survivor Production likes the left side of the island because they have that road.
Yeah.
Right. The right side of the island is not used as much because they have to take boats and stuff over there to bring all their stuff. That's what they told us when I was asking open-ended questions. Yeah. Had I asked yes or no, they would just say yes, probably, whatever. But, right. So this is the sanctuary where good things happen. TM. We had a good time the second time we went there. First time we went there, we mistakenly walked down the beach instead of walking down the shaded road because we didn't know about the shaded road. So
it's true.
All right, let's move on to so we have 7 challenge sites we're going to show you, but there's probably 11, 12 of them. Though the mountain challenge, the one that I know everyone can just picture this. I'll show a reference photo of it. This is no longer in use. Let's talk about that first. The Mountain View challenge, like I wanted to go there, but you have to go behind. There's now, I don't know if this was there before. Andrew was telling me what was there last year and then versus now. There's now like signs saying private property and stuff. Like we couldn't go up there if we wanted to. You would need like a local to take you up there. And again, we were trying to keep where we were going like publicly accessible. So when we did this, we could like, also I wanted to go up there, but at the same time I was like, I don't really feel like feeling sketchy the whole time I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So yes. So on Mana Island, that Mountain View challenge, apparently they stopped using after 44.
Well, this could be, like we said, private access. Maybe somebody has purchased this property now.
Maybe they're no longer leasing it to Survivor.
Maybe, yeah. Or it could just be it was a hassle to hike up the mountain and Jeff's getting older. I mean, not that he would have to hike. I'm sure he'd have a golf cart or whatever.
Easy ride up there.
Yeah. But it was more of the out of the way locations for sure.
Right. It has such a cool view. And it is. So I've always theorized they should do a sunset challenge there. And I was surprised because I didn't do any research on this, like where the sunset took place at. That would actually, the sunset is on the side of the island. So you would get the sunset challenge at that location, but they don't use that location anymore. I didn't know that. I found that out, which makes sense why we haven't seen it in a while, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know they don't use it. So anyways, that's the mountain challenge. Unfortunately, can't do that. All right. So let's go to challenge site 1. This one we walked into and I'm like, this is a challenge site? Yeah. Look how small it is.
It looks so small. Once you're there on the island, it's like, wait, this isn't really a challenge site. There's a platform. The platform's still there. And the beach is, I'm terrible at estimating distances, but it felt like, I don't know, 15 feet from
It did. I was like, how are they fitting 5, 6, 7 people on this thing? But they do. They do.
And it doesn't look crowded. It's just all perspective and angles and stuff, I'm sure. But yeah. I mean,
this is a newer location because I basically went through the new era seasons because I didn't go back to like 33. I'm like, I'm not going through 17 seasons of, I was just trying to find a reference photo. So I went back to like 41, started with 41, came all the way up to 48. This challenge site did not pop up, I believe, until I got to like 45, 46, 47, somewhere in there. I found my reference photo here is from 47, but like this was not present 41 through 44.
It's a nice one, especially if it is like later on in the season and you have fewer people, or if you're just doing a simple like balance challenge or whatever. Because
this is one where they hold the ball above their head, like with their biceps.
It's a nice one because the ocean, I mean, all of them, most of the ocean is right there, but the ocean is literally right there.
Always,
off this beach. And so, I mean, it's a good one, but
all of these challenge sites are like,
and it's super easy to find.
30 seconds from hitting the water with your feet.
Yes,
like if you ran
5
10 seconds, but like walking casually 30 seconds to a minute at worst. Like it is like right next to the ocean. So we're very impressive by the audio team to not have the ocean sounds and there's constantly a breeze. Like there's rarely not a breeze.
Yeah.
So like even when I'm getting footage, like it's like in my footage, like you can hear like a massive like in the background. I'm like, dang, they do a good job getting rid of this. So that's the first challenge site. Again, this is why we didn't take a photo of everyone, because there was like where they do the auction place. It's just like a little square clearing. There's nothing there. There's no food there.
Yeah.
There's no
benches.
Jeff offering me money. Yeah. There's no benches. Yeah, exactly. Jeff not threatening to take away my vote. There's nothing like that. So, all right. Challenge site 2 is a little bit bigger. This one they have used for quite a while. So the first one we showed you is pretty new. The second one, Mary, how would you describe the second one?
This one feels like when we walked out in the clearing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see Joe and Eva right here. This was probably like not the beach where they had their moment, but you know what I mean? Like this is Survivor for me. When we walked out on this beach, I was just like, oh, I feel like I'm right there. The platform was much, much bigger, a big platform. It had massive sandy beach area.
This is where they take you if you go to see the sunset too.
Yes.
So if they take you, they'll take you in a golf cart, or not a golf cart, they take you on a truck. This is where they take you to. They take you to this beach because like you walk right around the bend. That's where the sunset is.
So the road is right behind it. There's a little path.
There's a road by all these. I'll tell you when the road stops for the stuff I'm showing you.
So yeah, I mean, this was where I got like excited. You know what I mean? Like the first challenge, I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
The
but
sanctuary.
Sanctuary, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's
where's
fine.
the structure?
But this was like, man, this is Survivor. That was really cool.
Yes, this one's cool. You can definitely like, of course, I didn't feel like it because it was hot because there was no shade the day we were there.
Yeah.
But you could definitely like, I was also lugging around a camera and tripod, and I had like all my lenses and stuff because I was getting footage and videos and whatnot to make this a work trip, if you know what I mean. So, but if you really felt like it, you could run up from the ocean, run up to the platform, pretend you're doing a puzzle and kick it over. I mean, or bring a puzzle with you.
Bring a puzzle with you.
Yeah, bring a puzzle with you.
Yeah.
You're not like me bringing all your camera stuff. Yeah. This is definitely one of those where it's like you can see it. And they use this one all the time, like on the show. Like this one, I recognized when we got to it. The first one was like, this is a challenge site? Like the other one, the smaller one?
Yeah.
Because it's newer. I didn't recognize, but this one they use all the time.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of all the time, Mary, let's go to the biggest challenge site on the left side of Mana Island. This one, they literally use so much that they try to film it from different angles when they show it off at the beginning of a challenge because of how often they use this challenge site. I think it's because it's big.
Yeah.
It has a road next to it. So production really likes this one. This one, whether you because when we first got there, I'm like, this is a challenge site, huh? And then went back and looked at the reference photos like, oh no, they use this one all the time.
There wasn't a platform there when we went, obviously, for this one.
But there's like, and I don't know if I got it well with the angles because again, we're only like 5 feet off the ground, but there's like clearly spots where challenge stuff has been picked up and or whatever, removed. You can tell where challenge stuff was. Yes.
You can see like the outlines of the posts where things are built there. So yeah, this one, you walk out and you're like you said, this is a challenge site, but
this one's so big, it's hard not to.
It's just a massive field with like, well, you could see, like you said, the remnants. Yeah. So it is cool. It is very cool, especially when like you have these reference photos to look at. You can still get the feeling, but there is nothing there right now. Yeah. Yeah. Once production
so I did get video. This is all by all this video and stuff I'm going to end up using during our 49 and 50 podcast. Now that I have all of our shots are locally sourced from Fiji. No longer am I having to use generic footage I find online for free. So this challenge site's pretty cool. It's one that once you've seen it 1,000 times. This one production loves, and for good reason.
Right.
So I do want to do a brief aside. Andrew Yallow's video, which I will, if I remember, I'll link it down in the description. If not, you can just look it up, Andrew Yallow, Fiji. He is way more adventurous than me. He decided to do things I don't think I would do, even if I. All right, so he goes into Jeff Probst's house, like the house that Jeff Probst lives at. We did not go into it, but there was a good reason why we didn't go into it. Mary, what has changed potentially in the past year? I don't know if it was there when Andrew was there because I talked to him. He said he did not reference that this existed, but what was there that stopped us from going to Jeff Probst's house?
Well, there are like 3 or 4 nice homes right after this challenge
Again,
area.
showing on Fiji on the Google Maps approximately where this is.
And they all have private property, don't enter, cameras up in the trees.
Mary and I respect the signs.
Yes. Like, we're not here to get in trouble or invading anyone's privacy. Like, we love the show. These are people's homes. So yes.
And I didn't know which one was being lived in, which one was Jeff's. You know, like, I'm just guesstimating.
Yeah.
The chapel, though, you could go into.
Yes. The chapel was beautiful.
Mary, tell them how the chapel was used by Jeff.
So apparently, this is what we heard. Rumor is Jeff uses the chapel as his workout area, which kind of makes sense because it's elevated really high. It has glass windows and stuff, so you can see out really far into the ocean. So I could see it being really nice. It's an active
chapel too. They use it for church, apparently.
Yes, and weddings and things.
There's a couple chapels on the island that they use for church. Fiji's very much Christianity is definitely prominent. Like there was a cross up on a hill. I'm like, I'm surprised they've avoided that, showing that in the show. Like it's just right there in the background. But on top of that, it was like everywhere we went, it seemed like pretty Christian of a which I was not expecting when we went there, but pleasantly surprised. Yes, Jeff uses the chapel to work out in. His house is right next to it. Supposedly, again, I didn't go into it.
Yeah.
I just saw it from the road, kind of. But you watch Andrew Yallow's video for someone who went inside the house. We did not go inside the house. So past Jeff's house, we were like, where the flip is Tribal Council? Because on Google Maps, it looks like Tribal Council is before the chapel in Jeff's house.
Yes.
And maybe it was at one point. Maybe it was, but it no longer is.
There was a clearing there.
But that was for an old challenge site that they no longer use because they had planted. We found, I did not take pictures of this. Sorry for this one. Because when we went there, I'm like, here's a clearing, but there's clearly stuff planted here because they're trying to regrow it.
Yeah.
Huh. Is this where Tribal was? Because we asked a guy and we're like, hey, where's Tribal Council? By the way, I'm under the assumption that the locals there, I can't speak for everyone. I think they work on the show and don't watch the show, if that makes sense. So if they say things like Tribal Council, that does not have the same meaning to them as it does to us. Again, based on our conversations.
Based on the couple of conversations, people kept saying, oh, this is a Tribal Council when they were referring to just a challenge area.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, lost in translation. I think, as I said, I think a lot of them are like, or they work on the resort while they're there. So they're not like working on the show. They're working at the resort, servicing all these people living at the resort. So I do not blame any of them. I'm just saying it seems like many of the people there. That's why I don't think they care if you go look or touch or like anything. Because they're like, they're here for 5 months. Go ahead. I don't care. I have no interest. So he told us like this other area was Tribal Council. It is not. You will not miss Tribal Council. Right. You walk down the shaded road. It is impossible. You'd have to be blind as a bat to miss this. Look at this. I did not get like a video from the road walking up into it, but look at this photo. Look at the video I'm showing you on screen. This is like the shell of Tribal Council.
Yes.
What was it? I did not get video of us walking through it, Mary, but what was it like walking through it and stuff?
Oh, it was awesome. Again, it's just the bare structure. Tall. But it's so massive and you're like, oh my goodness. And then to imagine like the set on top of this, it's just the floor kind of elevated up above the jungle.
The floor is probably 8 to 10 feet high.
At least.
The floor.
Yeah. Yeah. So then
I'd say 10 feet.
Imagine whatever set they build on top of that. Yeah, it was incredible. Again, like it would have been cool to see an actual tribal, but just seeing the set and knowing, man, right above me somewhere, everyone's been voted out in Survivor. You know, I mean, Tribal hasn't been in that spot, but you know what I mean? Like just that feeling of being a part of something so massive. It was really cool.
There's this gray container. Again, I was more concerned about getting like the whole thing when I was getting footage and video. Also, this is near the end of like the day and like we have been just going to places and stuff. So I sometimes I wish I got more than I did, but I'm glad I got what I got. There's a big gray container, Mary, would you say? Like a big gray container underneath Tribal that this was like said S50 and had like a bunch of people sign it and like they clearly have stuff, Tribal Council stuff in there. Again, this is what I'm saying. If our department wants you to look and see things, they'll leave it out. Yeah. They hide everything they don't want you to see. So like the challenge stuff, they're like, go for it. But like stuff like this, they're like hiding it all in there.
I think my impression was that container was more of a
there's
like a command center. Like there's a door. Like I feel like that was maybe where
I don't think there's even electronics in the heat though.
No, I'm not saying there's electronics. I'm just saying that's used as I don't think it's just storage. I could be wrong. Yeah.
So this is basically the end of what I would say is day one of walking the island, because once you've done everything we've talked about so far, you're not going to want to do the other half unless you're like in super great shape. But I would like, why rush? if you're that on the island already, why rush? Why rush yourself? Explore, enjoy the left side of the island, because the right side of the island is going to kick you in the you know where it's going to kick you there. All right. And compared to the left side of the island's a cakewalk in comparison. So tribal council is super cool. It was so nice. So that is what I would say is the end of what I would say day one of looking at stuff, starting with the airfield and the challenge props, and basically you walk around not
it
through.
Is a loop.
Don't walk through, walk around the airfield if you're going. And the airfield is not shaded and hot and there's nothing there.
I mean,
besides the beginning of it with the big structures.
Like the structures of the beginning are cool. It's also kind of cool to see the helicopter pad. Like, that's where Jeff lands every time.
I love getting sunburned on the airfield. It was so much fun. Mary.
Some people might enjoy just letting the helicopter pads right there too.
It's an option. It's an option. All right. So we did try. So let's talk about this before we do the right side of the island. We did try to go to Edge of Extinction because that was what I really want to do. Campsites, there's not going to be anything there. Heck, the water walls aren't even there. Right. Obviously, we just saw those with the challenge props. We did try going to the Edge of Extinction. The resort does not offer any boats they'll take you to Castaway Island. They'll take you to other resorts. Apparently, the Edge of Extinction and the sites where they have the tribal councils at, I'm sorry, not tribal councils, where they have the camps at are like private property again. Like somebody owns these locations. We talked to other people who and I want to emphasize that they went to a challenge site by taking a tour from Port Donaru. I think I'm saying that right. But they weren't 100% sure. They're like, I think this is a challenge play. I think a tribal play. I keep messing this up. Sorry. Campsite. Yeah. But they weren't 100% sure. They were just guessing. So maybe not. We tried hiring somebody in the village and they said it would cost 90 Fijian dollars. And I'm like, that seems way too low to take a boat to Edge of Extinction so you can see the right side to Tavua. I should throw this out there. You can see Edge of Extinction almost at all times off Mana Island. Yes. The Edge of Extinction is right there. I have so much footage of the Edge of Extinction from Mana Island. And you can see the right side to Tavua, which is where the Joe and Eva purple tribe, there's always a tribe on the beach. It's right next to Edge. You can see Edge off in the distance from that. Those you can see at that campsite from there and Edge of Extinction from there. But we tried renting a boat and they said it was 90 Fijian dollars. And then we asked the resort, and the resort's like, and this is the only thing they were like really adamant about. We do not recommend hiring a boat from the village because they're usually not licensed. They're not insured, nothing and you're taking like a little dinky boat across the ocean. And I was like, oh, I have all my camera stuff with me. Do I really want to take a little dinky boat across the ocean? And I mean like a little boat.
Looked like a little rowboat.
Not very much money. Yeah. For not very much money. I'm like, I know I can swim in the ocean, but do I really want to risk all of this on that's like what, 40 American dollars? It just didn't seem like the right amount of money, if that makes sense. It seemed and the way they had to like call somebody and it was felt sketch. So ultimately, Andrew, I think went, maybe there's another way. Maybe because I tried emailing the resort and asked them like, hey, is there like a way to do this? But they're like, talk to us at concierge when you get here. I was like, okay, I'll do that. Apparently I shouldn't have done that because when I got there, they're like, we can't take you over there. I'm like, why didn't you say that in the email? Why didn't you say that in the email then?
Because you always say yes.
Yeah, I know. So if you do go, maybe you can find some sort of tour that has actual access to that. I would not recommend hiring somebody who just lives at the village next to the resort. Like that was our plan. So unfortunately, that's like one of two things that I missed that I wanted to see was Edge of Extinction. I didn't really care about the campsites. I want to go to Edge of Extinction, and there's another challenge site we missed because we got so tired and wiped and like the distance to it was. Anyways, we'll get to that when we get that. But there's only two things. One is Edge of Extinction. Mary, did you want to go did you care about going to the campsites or Edge of Extinction?
I think it would have been really cool to see the campsites just for the fact of, again, I've seen this on TV. It's like, I can see it across the ocean. It's right there. That would have been cool. But yeah, we just needed to do more research. I think you need to know the Fijian name of the island you want to go to.
Edge of Extinction does not have a Fijian name, by the way. I was like trying to explain the island to them, and I kept wanting to say Edge of Extinction. I was like, but on Google Maps, there's no name for it.
Yeah. Well, so find out the name of the islands you want to go to.
Tavua is where there's one campsite. One campsite is Tavua. I'll give them that one. Go ahead.
Tavua. And then look up from Port Donaru tours, because there's so many boat tours that leave Port Donaru. And that's how the couple that we met found this tour that took them to a possible campsite challenge, whatever. It took them to a couple little islands. So there's so many, just do a little bit more research than we did. That would be the one thing we needed to improve on.
Yes. If we ever decide to go back in the future, we will absolutely try to do that by like, but like, and you know, if you do it from the port, it's going to be like a real boat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's going to be like a boat that you feel safe in.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot emphasize how small the boats were that they were like saying 90 Fijian dollars for. And I was like, me, Mary, and you and our and my camera stuff. I don't know about that. So unfortunately could not go there, but and those are owned by somebody else. Like Mon Island has no access to them. So they told us they can take them, but you can go to Castaway Island because it's another resort there.
Yes.
If you watch the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. So, all right. The right side of the island, this one. Okay. So left side of the island, I encourage if you're going to go do it after breakfast, because that's the coolest part of the day. That's the only part of the day where unless it's cloudy, it's shaded because it gets unshaded and hot real fast.
Well, yes, on the beach it gets unshaded. On the beach,
which you have to walk. You can't walk through the village.
You do have to walk the beach to get to the first challenge.
All right, so you walk the beach again. So like breakfast on the resort is at 6:30.
Starts at 6:30. Yes.
Starts 6:30. Yes. If you eat and grab your stuff and go, it'll still be cool. It'll likely be shaded. The sun hasn't hit the right side of south side of the island yet, because the sun rises and sets mostly on the north side. But once it's up in the air, it's got the whole island.
During the time that
the island takes like 2 minutes to walk north to south, like 5 minutes at most. I think 5 minutes to walk north to south.
In the center, yes.
So like, it's not a huge island north south. It's a huge island east to west when the sun is on you. So
yes,
we got a hydration backpack that was very helpful, like a Camelback. Of some people might know as that. That was super helpful. So you have to walk the beach and you go to challenge site. What I'm labeling is for us challenge site 4. Mary, this challenge site 4, we walk into this one instantly. These are the big ones. I mean, there's a one per like medium sized one on the left side of the island. These are the big ones.
Yes, these are the big ones that are like most of the time you can't really see the ocean in the background, or if you do, it's because the drone shot. These ones, the ocean are not as visible. Yeah. Yeah, but these are like the massive ones where they'll have the large balls that they have to roll, or the massive platform at the end with huge puzzles. And yeah, this was really cool to walk into. Can I mention the dog? Yeah,
there's local like village dogs that'll like guide you.
There are local village dogs that kept coming over the resort. There's signs everywhere, don't feed the dogs, but of course people feed the dogs because how can you not? But anyways, they're very kind dogs. Yeah, they're very sweet. Almost every time we went out for a trek or a hike, a dog would follow us part of the way or lead us. I felt like it was leading us. So this dog went with us all the way up to the 5th challenge spot, I think. But anyways, here at the 4th challenge, it was really shaded. It was cool. I think it was still like 7:30
We got there as the sun was rising on it.
Yeah, it was beautiful, as well as just being epic because it's so massive. Like this massive field. And again, it's a massive field. You have to kind of use your imagination to see the structures and the pools, but you can. It's so clearly obvious.
And for anyone who hears go to breakfast 6:30, like likely if you're coming from America, you're already going to wake up early anyways, because it was like jet lag, 16, 17, 18 hour difference. But like it was, you're just plan on being up early, I would say, to do Survivor stuff. I know some people are going to like stay up late and want to like get drinks and stuff. Go for it. But I wouldn't do that the night before you go on Survivor locations, because like it is hot and you want to go as early as you can. Just throwing that out there. So yes, this one was cool. Again, I have some reference photos for these. There is this dome shaped hill off in the distance that is like, I recognized immediately on Mon Island. That is in the background. Some of these shots, I'll show you my footage as well, of course, as we go through these. I did my best to walk through these challenges, but I was like, keep in mind, I couldn't bring like all of my film gear. So I brought like my GH5. I put it on like a cheap tripod and like try to like walk it as smoothly as I can. I didn't have like a gimbal and stuff. I do have a gimbal. I just could not pack that and bring it on I didn't want to have another check bag. It was not worth it. I wasn't going to lug it along with all my other camera stuff. I had enough crap on me as it was. So throw in there. If you really want to though, you can, but like, I don't know. It was already hot enough as it was. So I could have brought a gimbal. I didn't. So I try to keep it as smooth as I can. Again, I think it turned out pretty well, the footage. So yeah, this challenge site's pretty cool. You got some reference for that one. This one, they don't use that often, but they do use it. Whereas, so you have to walk down the beach to challenge site 4. You do have to walk down the beach challenge site 5, but we'll give you a pro tip after 5 on how to make this trip better. So you walk over to 5. 5 is a challenge site. I didn't actually find a lot of reference photos for this one, Mary. I wonder if it's newer.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, it looked very similar to challenge site 4, except for the path leading into it. That felt familiar to me. It felt like I'd seen
players walk through this one, right?
Players walk through this path to enter the challenge site.
Every time you walk from the ocean into a challenge, you're like, this is where the players walk. It has to be, because it looks like that.
It does. So again, massive empty field that you can totally imagine. I think the interesting part about this one is that it did look like there were, so at each challenge site, no matter where east or west side of the island, there's always a massive crater where you could clearly tell a crane or whatever had been placed there. There was also like little recesses around the challenge sites where you could tell this is where the cameras sit.
Where's where production stands.
Yeah.
This is where cameras go. Yeah.
Right. This one I think was interesting because the little recesses, they replanted trees. So I was thinking, are they not going to use this one again? Or do they replant trees every year?
But they didn't replant trees in the actual field, just in the recesses. Right.
Yeah. Just where it's like, this is probably where the cameras are at. So this is the only one I noticed where they had replanted trees around it. So this could be a spot that maybe they're not going to use as much in the future. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe they just replant trees every year.
I think they're going to use it. And I think that maybe one of the requirements, because they try to leave it as the same way that when they got there. Yeah. That's what they say. Of course, when you're clearing a bunch of trees to make a field.
Yeah.
But that's why I said, like, there's a challenge area that we found on the left side of the island that's no longer in use, that they clearly replanted trees or whatever there. Right. We went there and we sat down. We got sticker bushes all over my butt and on your butt too. Like a bunch of little sticker, like, I don't know how to explain, like sticker bushes. Well, I'm saying, because we sat there, we're like, this looks like something, but there's clearly like they're replanting stuff here. Was this something? So these other ones, no, they're using them actively.
Yes.
Like this one for sure.
It could be that whatever they replanted was something that is fast growing that they need to harvest or whatever within the year, and then they'll chop it down next year too. I don't know, but it was just interesting where you could see this side recess that was a big square of like, oh yeah, clearly cameras are here. So
once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
So from here, you can do what other people that we ran into did, which is leave this challenge and walk around the beach. But I'm going to give you a pro tip. Remember that production has a bunch of stuff to lug. They also don't want to be in the heat. There is a path from this challenge to the next challenge site that you can walk, and it is in the shade. Yep. I say this is a pro tip. I'll show you on Google Maps where it is, but I have footage of it. I even did like a little walkthrough. It reminded me like we were at a campsite. Like it's at like even though this is not, it's on Mana Island, there's no camps here.
Right.
This looks like there's idols could be hidden in here, everything. Like this is where people walk and talk and do strategy. It looks just like it. So if you can't get to a campsite, this is the next best thing. Like I was like, shoot, dude, walking through here. I'm like, this feels like I'm at a campsite. There's probably an idol right along the walking path right over here. You know, that's how it felt. It's not very long, but it's only like 3-minute walk maybe to the next challenge site from here. Or you can walk around the island like a doofus and walk for like 20 minutes in the heat. Don't do that. Walk through the shade. I'm showing you footage of the in between right now because I just think it's like a campsite. Yeah. And we got to take a break in here. It was nice because we got out of the heat finally.
There was a little more shade in this area as well. Yeah.
Unless you want to sit on the ground at the challenge sites, there's really nowhere to sit at the challenge sites.
There's no benches.
There are ant mounds almost everywhere.
And sticker bushes.
And sticker bushes, as we found out many times, more than the one I mentioned. We got sticker bushes all over our shoes and butts and everything. So yes, I will say that. So if you don't go with much camera gear, maybe you can bring some easily fold out chair. I don't know if I would carry that out there.
No.
But this path between these two challenge sites, very easy to sit in. It was very nice. It was a nice little cool off break spot. And it looks like you're at a campsite. It's just a pro tip. This is not on the map. No one's gonna tell you about it. It just looks like a campsite. It looks like somewhere where people would walk and talk and go to the water well. So, all right, let's move on to the next next challenge site, Mary. Tell everyone about it.
So the next challenge site is more trees. So it's like, I don't think you can see the ocean at all from this challenge site, but it's completely rectangular, surrounded by trees. They do use this one frequently as well. I don't remember there being as many.
This one more than I realized.
I don't remember there being as many indents in the ground or anything like this. Like maybe it wasn't used for 50.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't quite as fresh. Maybe I could be wrong.
All these sites that look like they had been freshly used / mowed / whatever you want to call it. Like they're not mowing there.
This one I think was slightly different just because of no beach access or that you could see. Obviously there's still the beach right there and there was a path leading down to it, but it wasn't 5-second walk to it from this one.
This one was pretty cool. Again, I would say if you're going to go like these reference photos I have here on the YouTube channel, you can screenshot them or you can just go on the Survivor YouTube channel uploads challenges. It's always the beginning of the challenge where they show the drone shot. Try to get screenshots of that and bring it with you and you'll be like, oh, this is where I'm standing. Yeah. It definitely helps.
Reference points help.
Yes. It gives you like, okay. Sometimes when you walk into these, remember, you're walking at such a low angle. The camera's like almost never at the angle you're at.
Yeah.
Like ever. So it's like, this is definitely a challenge area. But then you look at the reference photo, you're like, oh no, this is a challenge area.
Mm-hmm.
And these are big. These are big ones. Like this is not like the little ones we first ran into on the left side of the island. These right side ones are big. So that's that challenge site. The next one's the last one we went to. And at first I was like, I do not recognize this for the life of me.
Which you can also take a path to. You still don't.
Yes.
Still continue on the path.
Right. From, this one has another shaded path that you can walk to. You don't have to be a doofus and walk on the beach. Avoid being a doofus and walking on the beach to the best of your ability when going to these places. It is hot. So we go to the next one, and this one gets used a bunch. But when you first walk into it, you almost wouldn't you recognize it's a big challenge space, but
well, it's circular.
Because you can see, I guess the hills in the background throw me off because they don't really show the hills that often. So the angles I got are not the angles they get.
Right. Yeah. I don't.
Oval, circular. Yeah.
Yeah. It's oval, circular, round. And I'm like, do they do round challenges on Survivor? But clearly they do. And we're just not
more often
used
than
to
I
it.
realize.
Yeah. And I think this one, it might be one of those where they don't do as many overhead or big view because like you said, they're trying not to show that it's right next to this other challenge site. So maybe they do more close-ups.
And I will say that in the later seasons, they do more drone shots where it flies through the challenge versus showing an overhead of it. So I had to go to earlier New Era seasons to get a lot of overheads because they try to show different angles of things to make you think they don't reuse the. By the way, every challenge site, with the exception of the ones they do on Edge of Extinction at the beginning of some of the New Era seasons, is on Mana Island. I don't think I said that, but they're all on the same island. All of them, including the Sanctuary and Tribal Council. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Mary. So we're at the challenge site. Enjoy the view of it and everything with my footage. We forgot to mention, Tribal Council is like, what, a minute away from Jeff's house.
Less if you take a golf cart.
Correct. Yes. Or less. So when Jeff says good night to the players, he almost literally means it because he's going to take off his mic, go to his house and be there in like a minute. And everyone else has to take like 20, 30, 40-minute boats back to their camp. And Jeff's just like in bed already, probably passed out as they're still taking a boat to their camp.
Yeah.
I understand why Jeff wants to stay here. Everything is so easily accessible for him.
It is. And it's beautiful.
He doesn't have to leave Mana Island for 25 days.
Yeah.
The one day he's on Edge of Extinction for the challenge.
It is a really nice setup. I mean, they have the resort there with ready-made houses and places for production to stay. They have the airstrip. They have all these challenge sites. They really, I'm like, it's the perfect setup. Yes. I totally get it now. It's not like they're living in the jungle like everybody else.
No. Yeah, Jeff has the easy life. I get why he wants to stay in Fiji. Now, do I also want them to change locations? Yes, I'm very clear on that. I think new location would do a lot. But do I understand why they stay there? Yes, I do. We both do. All right, so there's one challenge site I missed, Mary. You can see in this reference photo that we did not walk to because it was quite a considerable distance. And I want to point out that if you look at Google Maps, I'll try to show it here on Google Maps, that there's this it looks like, oh yeah, you just go from the challenge site and you can walk around that little rock and go to the resort. The resort's right there. No, you walk around that rock. Apparently you're risking life and death, as we found out. So there's a challenge site that they use quite often that I wish we had gone to. This is the one along with Edge of Extinction that, I wish we'd gone to this. But this one is quite a considerable walk. You would have to walk down the beach to get to it. And they use it all the time. But again, after seeing 7-8 challenge sites, it's fine. All right, with that in mind, there are a couple of things you can do that Mana Island will provide for, I think, a very affordable price.
We have not been paid by Mana Island Resort.
No. I recommend it. There's a hostel there, I think, on the island as well, but you're gonna be very restricted if you go to that in terms of what you can do and everything else. So, all right, Mana Island provides an hour and a half trip, an hour and a half you could spend at the Sandbar from Winners at War. They don't call it that. They call it a Sandbar snorkeling tour. It's $100 Fijian dollars, which is nothing. It's like 44 American dollars. I say nothing because other things are way more expensive, but this is not one of them. $100 Fijian dollars to go to the Sandbar, and you can go to the same place the Winners of War started. Jeff throws the glass over his shoulder and speaks in British or whatever he does. They can go there where they have the opening challenge of Winners of War, and they have their fight in the ocean and everything.
And to be fair, we did not go and do this because of time.
We needed another day.
Right. This is just what we are pretty sure that's what it is based on what everyone told us.
Yeah, if you look at the photos they have of the resort and everything, it's so clearly the Sandbar that they use for Survivor. So that one I recommend. We did not get to do it. But again, as I said, I wish we had spent 2 more days there. We would have done this. And then there's another thing called Cloud 9, which at first means nothing. Like, what does that even mean? It's a floating restaurant in the ocean. It costs 240 Fijian dollars, about 105 per person, 105 American dollars per person. This one, they used, I think, 1, maybe 2 times in Survivor. Definitely in the very first Fijian season. Very first modern Fijian season, Millennials versus Gen X. They have a reward there. Which I will show. Again, I'm showing reference photos from what they show you on the website versus the show. This is one we would have done because it was on Survivor. Again, we ran out of time. Had I known, I would have stayed there for another couple days.
It was a reward given on Survivor.
It was a reward that players got to go to, like Adam and a few other people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We didn't do this one, but I recommend it. It's again, these are officially sanctioned. It means they're licensed. They'll take you there. Like, you'll feel completely safe. The little dinky boat taking me to Edge of Extinction for 90 Fijian dollars. Those did not feel safe. Okay, I cannot emphasize how small the boat. All right, so those are cool things Mana Island will take you to, and Mary. So that's all the Survivor stuff you can see. But we did something else while we were on Mana Island that I'll show photos of. Yes,
this is also Survivor related ish. We took like fake cast photos, which was really fun. And this was on the north side of the island. It was literally, you walk down the steps to the resort like you're headed to the beach, and it's right there.
This is where they do.
We were still on the resort when we took our cast photos.
When they do cast photos and the group, like the whole like the entire cast and like the individual photos, some of those, I'm not saying they all are, but I can, now that we've been there, I can tell like what's in the background, that they do a lot of them on Mana, if not all of them on Mana Island. They just go different parts of Mana and do them.
We did our photos a few feet apart and just like change the angle of the camera. So there's different backgrounds, of course, but it's still all in the same area.
Correct. So if you want to do that, I would say make sure it's shaded and or make sure it's like very early morning before the sun has risen and is beating on you. Because if you look at cast photos that they do officially on the show, they usually have somebody like, you can tell by the shadow underneath people's feet that there's somebody like blocking the sun on the actual person so that the lighting is even on them. Or it will just be a clouded day.
Right.
That's how you can tell every time. The sun is never like directly on the person in the photo. So if you're ever going to try to recreate it, that's what my tip is. We also try to pick clothes that we think we would actually wear in like Mary basically recreated the first boot from 48, Stephanie. Well, it fits your style, like what you would wear anyways. And I recreated, I don't know in particular, just looked at a bunch of guys stuff and like, what can I wear? Because I didn't like buy clothes specifically for our cast photo, but it was very cool to do the cast photo.
It was fun. Felt authentic.
It did feel authentic. It was pretty dang cool. So before we talk about resort amenities, I have fun facts I wrote down. Some of these might be repeating, but this is going to be a flurry of them that we learned while we were there. And I quickly wrote them down as I learned them. So the Mermaid Dragon, what is it actually used for? I've heard conflicting reports. I immediately thought this could be on the masts of a ship. Somebody at the resort said it's at Tribal Council. Somebody who works at the resort said it's going to be, the Mermaid's going to be used for Tribal Council. And then we talked to somebody else who said, I don't see how it's at Tribal Council. Somebody else who said something else, and I don't remember. Frankly, it may not even be in the show. Besides like those shots that we saw, I don't know. Like, where is it going to be in the show? I don't know, but we've heard that it's like could be a mast on a ship, could be at Tribal Council. I can't see where else this thing would be at.
I think you're using the wrong word. I don't think it's the mast. It's called the prow of a ship.
Yeah, my bad. The very front of the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say? What does mast mean in this case?
A mast is the center pole that holds the sail.
Wow. You could never guess that I was in the Navy for 7 years. Like, you literally couldn't based on the stupidity that came out of my mouth. All right. So the shark on the mermaid conch could be the merge symbol. As Mary and I said, don't care. 49 is shipwreck theme. 50 is ancient city theme. Crew arrives in February, but they start filming in April. Doesn't matter. If you're going to be there while the crew's there, period, you're not going to be able to access anything. So don't even go during February to early July. Another one. Yes, the Fiji pizza sucks. There was not a single, I tried multiple locations of Fiji pizza. They all sucked. Well, the worst one was like the bread and the sauce and cheese, like somehow all live independently of each other. As you're eating it, you're like, how are these all like sliding off of each other? This should be fused into one thing. And it wasn't.
Yeah,
do not recommend Fijian pizza.
They haven't mastered the art of that, but
it seems so simple.
Their bread is amazing.
Yes.
At least, no, well, I was going to say on the resort and at Port Doner, the bread that we got was delicious.
The bread, they nailed bread, but they cannot nail how to make pizza. And I don't get it. It is so confusing because so many other foods they make are so good, but like pizza just like eludes them. Like an Italian's never been to this place, I guess, because like, what is this? Pizza, no good. Try it. You're not going to die, but try it at your own risk. That we did see while we were there at the resort. There were like bats flying from like coconut tree to coconut tree. I didn't think there were any bats in this island. They use them on Survivor sometimes, like as like a theming thing. But like I remember 47's immunity necklace being like a bat. Mm-hmm. Bats are prevalent. They're there.
Well, even in the resort, like some of the t-shirts have bats on them and stuff. It's a very, I mean, I think that's probably something maybe people just don't expect at a tropical location, but clearly, yeah. So
this is a joke I had planned because we're on the flight to Fiji, and as you're on the flight, it has like the screen in front of you. You can like watch movies, listen to music, whatever, play games on the screen on the flight. And in the background, as you're searching stuff, is the edge of extinction. And I'm like, oh, cool. That means this is a prominent place in Fiji. Like, you're flying to Fiji, and out of everything in Fiji you're showing you is this cool shot of the edge of extinction. What I didn't realize is that's going to be the best view I get of the edge of extinction was on that flight. So I am showing you a photo on screen that I took on the flight, showing you this is the best view I ever got of edge of extinction. I was on Mana Island. I used like my long lens and everything to get footage of it in 6K. Best view I got was this drone helicopter shot that they tease you with. And then you ask people on the island, they're like, they don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, that island over there. Because I can't call edge of extinction. I called it that once and like they looked more confused. So I stopped calling it that. So anyways, that was funny. There's best view I got was on the
300 islands.
And that's the one they picked.
Well, I was going to say.
And you can't even go there.
I was going to say, I don't remember the percentage, but I heard the percentage of islands that are just unlivable because there's no water, there's no power. Mm-hmm. It's just like a rock jutting up out of the ocean. So clearly at edge of extinction is one of those where it's like, why would you go there? Because there's nothing there. But yeah, it is beautiful. The other thing, one last thing I was going to say, the sunrises and sunsets there. I'm sure anyone who's been to a beach location, it's like, sure, but they're beautiful, like gorgeous. It was worth it every morning getting up to see the sunrise.
On the north side of the island.
Yeah, go to the north side, at least during the time we were there. It's that was right the best view.
If you're going to go there, where they serve food at. So it's not, you're like a minute from food.
Yeah. And then, of course, sunsets. If you take the sunset beach tour, it's gorgeous. You can still see the sunset pretty well from the resort, but they're taking the truck out.
There, yes. And then they'll drive you back.
A nice truck ride. Go see the sunset.
They'll dump random Survivor knowledge on you that you didn't even ask about.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful location.
Absolutely. Was there any other amenities or anything you wanted to mention? They did do different themes for food every night at the resort, which was very nice.
The resort itself was fun to stay. It's not like one of the luxury, fancy. It was clearly like a lot of Australian middle class were there, is what I would say.
This is where production
for families. But yeah, this is where production is at. Every worker there was super helpful, super like smiling and cheerful and always greeted you. I enjoyed the experience a lot.
They were always kind.
Yes. Super kind. If you had a question, they were going to help you figure it out.
Resort, highly recommended. I didn't get many photos or videos of the resort. I just feel weird about like filming or taking photos of where people are at. Yeah. Like I try, like one time I was getting like a video of the mermaid and somebody thought I was getting a video of like them. I'm like, no, I'm getting it of the mermaid. I do want to tell us to them, but like, I don't care about you. Like I don't care about the mermaid.
Well, yeah, the resort.
They don't even understand why I'm getting the mermaid. There's like 1,000. Yeah.
We don't see the production living at the resort like that. Yeah. That isn't Survivor to us. Survivor is definitely the challenge location.
It's very walkable, has a lot of shade. As long as you're at the resort, there's a lot of shade. It's when you get to the right side of the island and you want to walk the challenges, you lose a lot of shade. So, all right. So on Patreon, YouTube, and on Instagram, I actually asked for questions. So we'll start with the ones on patrons. The patrons on Patreon. First question is from Autumn. Were you allowed to see the exact beaches used in Survivor, or were those blocked off? Basically blocked off because they're owned privately by somebody else. But as we said, you may be able to get a tour from Port Donaru and to go there. So I would actually say at that point, just get a hotel by Port Donaru because the ferry costs 100 and I think 50 Fijian dollars to go there and another 150 to go back. So it's not worth it to take the ferry to do that. Just stay there. Like plan on doing one night, not the resort. Go ahead, Mary.
I was going to say that you're talking about like campsite beaches.
Campsites is what they meant.
So stay the night at Port Donaru, find that one private tour that lets you go do that.
Yes.
And then the next day go to Mana Island.
But challenge sites, tribal council, sanctuary, where they do the auction is all very publicly accessible. Pants asks, is there anything you wish you did see? For me, Edge of Extinction, Mary, was there anything you wanted to see? Campsites?
I think one campsite would have been cool.
Lav asks, what surprised you the most that you weren't expecting?
I did. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the random challenge items. Like it looked like a puzzle piece or something that was on the soccer field. Like just every now and then glancing over and be like, oh, that's a Survivor thing. What is that doing there? So yeah, that was fun.
So over on YouTube, Benjamin asked, did you get a Bourbon Street mushroom Swiss burger from Applebee's? Believe it or not, we actually went to Applebee's in the airport before we flew out to Fiji. So
it's true.
We did get a bacon burger.
We got a bacon burger.
Which I think Liz would be proud of, but it's not the Bourbon Street mushroom Swiss burger.
No.
And I did want to yell, I'm pissed at Applebee's. Mary said not to do that. We're in the airport.
No.
And that
he
would not
did
help.
yell it on the one challenge site that he thought that.
No, I definitely recognize the one where Liz yelled, I'm pissed at, and I did it there too.
Yes.
I'm pissed. You blew up my whole game. All right. Scott Waldo asked, did you see The Sanctuary? If so, did good things happen? Yes, we did see The Sanctuary, as we talked about earlier. I think a good thing did happen, Mary, because when we first found The Sanctuary, we, as doofuses, walked the beach to The Sanctuary. Once we got to The Sanctuary, we realized, oh, there's a shaded road behind it.
That is where we found the shaded road. So
right. The Sanctuary
good thing
is
happen.
where good things happen. Correct. That is absolutely correct. All right. Next question is from Rox Royce. Did you plant a fake idol out there for someone to find?
Oh man, that would have been funny.
If we were, if we went to an actual beach location, like where they live, I don't know if I would have done that because I didn't bring anything to make a fake idol. I like the idea though.
Fun idea.
If you go and you get access to that, I would say go for it. Plant a fake idol. I think production will either A, get rid of it, or someone else will B, find it, and then production will be like, that's not, we didn't.
Right, we didn't put.
So I think it will never appear on the show if you did it. Okay, so Raiden asked, the question I have is, since they've been using the same location for over a decade now, how do you think they replenish the island's resources?
Well, I talked about that a little bit where we said we thought they were replanting trees in some of the areas and possibly like switching up which challenge sites are used so that they're not always damaging the same locations. I'm not, other than that, I don't know.
Well, they definitely were replanting stuff, and I know they reuse bamboo. They reuse, like, people aren't building shelters every season with fresh materials that they're cutting down. I know they cut some stuff down, but for the most part, they're reusing stuff from other seasons as to not just like rip up the entire island for stuff.
And clearly they reuse stuff with the art department. They try to be like, because when you have to fly all your supplies out there, I'm sure they try to be as economical as possible.
Nathan asked, did you know Kyle and Camilla were in a secret alliance?
What? No idea.
He's like, what? Wait, what? All right. Julia on Instagram asked, was there lots of chocolate milk? We didn't have chocolate milk the entire time we were there.
There was no chocolate milk. Zero.
We had regular milk.
Yep,
they had regular milk with no chocolate milk, unfortunately, which I think David, well, okay, so I didn't know where, somebody's going to ask or wonder, where's Ponderosa? Apparently Ponderosa is another island. We couldn't ask anybody where it was. We didn't know where it was. There's nothing to indicate where Ponderosa was. We would have had to like find somebody, I think, whose first language is English and knows Survivor to find out that information. So if you find out, fantastic. But it is not a Mana Island. I thought it would be. We couldn't find anything about it. I totally thought it would be, but it was not. Last question is from Lance Robinson on Instagram. What do you think it will be like watching Survivor now that you've seen the sets in person and gone behind the scenes a bit? How will it change our watching experience? I think it will help because at least in the challenge sites, it's just going to be so fun to be like, oh my word, I was right there. I stood by that tree or whatever. I walked up that path. Like just way more engaging. Yeah, honestly. The challenges I usually skim, like I don't pay attention to, as Mary will attest to. I like challenges. I'm like, okay, who won the challenge? All right. Yeah. Unless somebody like blows up and says I'm pissed, like I don't really I care about the challenges that much because they just repeat over and over. But now though I've seen challenge props from the next few seasons, now that I've been to the challenge locations, I think it will make me more engaged in the challenge sites. So I definitely recommend this to anyone who can afford to go to the Mana Island. It's a vacation, but it's a Survivor, I would say themed location, but there's no like specific Survivor tours. Like they're not, you would think they would lean into that like they do with Castaway for the movie, but no. But on the flip side, it's kind of like pure in that sense because you can see all the Survivor stuff and it's not like you're being like cattled along. You're not like sheep being led to the next location. Like, okay, we've been here long enough. Let's go to the next location like you do on some tours. This is like at your own pace. See everything you want. It's true. But it does make going to the campsites and Edge of Extinction impossible or very hard to do. That's there's a flip side to it. But on the positive, like you're not rushed. You can see everything you want as long as you want. And people are just going to say Bula, like it's really cool. So that is everything I think of for our guide on going to Fiji and seeing Survivor stuff. Any questions you all have about it, I'll try to answer that in the comments if we didn't already answer it in the podcast. But yeah, I think we had an enjoyable time, and I'm looking for 49 starting. Apparently, Mary, it starts September 24th. Now, you may be asking, Mary, why did Survivor announce this with an AI image instead of just going to the beach and writing September 24th in the sand with their own hand?
I was definitely pondering that.
I know you were thinking that, and it's AI slop. I think my comment on that post has the most likes, and I've now almost never comment on Survivor's Instagram, but this time I felt the need to. Jeff once said, "We're Survivor. Shouldn't we hold ourselves to a higher standard?" And that's what I commented. I'm like, shouldn't we hold ourselves to a higher standard doing AI slop? Could somebody not just go in the sand and write September 24th with their hand? Why do you have to AI generate that? Laziness. I would have done it for you in Fiji. Why? That's what I'm saying. Production was there. Why can't they just ask what somebody in production, hey, can you just write this in the sand, take a picture of it, send to us? If that's what they wanted to do. Anyways, yes, September 24th, Survivor 49 starts. We're looking forward to it. But until then, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.